Shalom, Israel. Shalom. Today I'm going to be doing a video on whatsoever a man sow, that shall he also reap, right? What goes around comes around, right? Whatever you put out in the world, that shall you also receive, right? If you're out there doing all type of wickedness, you're going to receive that back in return, right? Let me get Galatians 6 and 7, and it reads, "Be not deceived, Yahweh is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." Right? So don't deceive yourself, right? Because the Most High, he's not mocked. He sees everything that everyone does, right? For whatsoever a man sow, whatever a man puts out there, whatever a man does, in his life, he's going to receive that back in return, right? So if you're out there doing all type of wickedness, you're going to receive that wickedness in return, right? Just like Esau and these other nations, right? They in Psalms 83, it tells us that they gathered together to make a tumult, right, against the children of Israel, right? They gathered together to all come together to oppress us and to put us into slavery. So what they sowed, they're going to reap the same thing, right? For them putting us into slavery, they're going to go into slavery, right? Thus saith the Lord, right? Let me get Colossians 3 and 25. And it reads, "But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he hath done, and there is no respect of persons." Right? It explains itself right there. It says, "But he that doeth wrong shall receive the wrong for which he hath done." Right? And all these other nations in Esau, they have done wrong against the children of Israel. Right? They oppress us daily. Right? They put us into captivity. Right? They have us on the bottom. Right? They shoot us down in the streets. Right? They locking our people up. Right? And ultimately, it's our fault, right, for our ancestors not following and obeying the law, statutes, and commandments, because they made a covenant with the Most High, right, to obey the law, statutes, and commandments. But since they didn't obey the law, statutes, and commandments, the Most High put all these curses upon us in Deuteronomy 28, and that goes into that. But the Most High also said that whatsoever man sow, that shall he also reap. So what they have done against the children of Israel, all these other nations and Esau, they're going to reap that same thing, right? The Most High said there is no respect of persons, right? Let me get Job 4 and 8. Job 4 and 8. And it reads, even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same, right? So they that sow wickedness and plow iniquity shall reap the same, right? Whatsoever man does in the world, he's gonna receive that in return, right? By the blast of God they perish, and by the breath of his nostrils are they consumed, right? Get Proverbs 22. Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 8. And it reads, "He that soweth iniquity shall reap vanity, and the rod of his anger shall fail." Right? So he that soweth iniquity shall reap vanity. Right? Deuteronomy 30 and 7. Right? Because the Most High is now starting to reverse the curses. Right? Right? He's taking the curses off the children of Israel, off of us, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and the Native American Indians, the Native Indians, and he's putting them back on these other nations and Esau, right? That's why when you go out in the world today, you see a lot of these curses being placed on these Edomites, right? A lot of these Edomites are now homeless, right? I see them all the time in the street, and they're all bugged out, smitten with madness, right? And that's the Most High putting these curses on them, right? And that's all praises to the Most High for that, Deuteronomy 30 and 7 reads, "And the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and upon them that hate thee, which persecuted thee," right? So the Most High he's going to put all these curses upon our enemies, right? upon them that hate us, right? And who hates us? All these other nations hate us, right? They know who the children of Israel are, but yet again, they still consult together to oppress the children of Israel, right? They want to persecute us, and they do it on a daily basis, right? You guys been watching videos, you know, like these Asians beating up on a lot of our Israelite sisters, right? You know, the Esau shooting down our people in the street, right? Just like that cop not too long ago on the video, I forget the name of the video, but this cop killed a pregnant sister, right? She was pregnant. I mean, he could have did other things to prevent that, but he took his gun out and shot her, right? So the Most High is going to put all these curses upon the enemies, upon them that hate us, right? 2 Thessalonians 1 and 6, right? The Most High, he ain't playing out here, you know? We're already living in the last days, you know? Let me get this real quick. 2 Thessalonians 1 and 6. It says, seeing it is a righteous thing with God to recompense tribulations to them that trouble you. Right? And who troubled us? Esau troubles us every day. These other nations trouble us every day. Right? They're in our neighborhoods where we're at, building up their new businesses, right? Oppressing us in every way that they can think of, right? You know, like I said, Esau locking our people up for no reason, shooting our people. They don't even have guns on them, still shooting them down in these streets, right? And the Most High, he's going to repay them for that, right? Numbers 14 and 18. Numbers 14 and 18. Numbers 14, verse 18, and it reads, the Lord is long-suffering and of great mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression, and by no means clearing the guilty, right? Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation. Right, so the Most High, he's long-suffering and of great mercy, forgiving iniquity, right? And transgressions, and by no means clearing the guilty, right? And these other nations in Esau, they're guilty for what they have done, right? They still have us here in captivity till this very day, right? They have not in any way try to make it better for us, right? Instead, they think of ways with the crafty counsel, right, to oppress us even more, right? Even though we're already in the bottom of the pit, they still, on a daily basis, figuring out a way to destroy us more and more and more, right? Let me get Isaiah 14:21. Isaiah 14 and 21, right? That's why the Most High said in Isaiah 14:21, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, right? Because their forefathers, for what they have done to our people, right, to our ancestors, and what they're still doing to us to this very day, the Most High said, prepare slaughter for his children, right? Who's his children? Those are his children, the people of today, right? So the Most High said, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities, right? So the Most High said, prepare slaughter for them. And what does it mean to slaughter, right? That means death, right? Jump down to Isaiah 14:1, and it reads, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the stranger shall be joined with them. They shall cleave to the house of Jacob, right? Because for these other nations, for Esau putting us into captivity, the Most High said they have to go into captivity, right? That's why the Most High said, yet he will yet choose Jacob. So like he will yet choose Israel, right? Which is the 12 tribes of Israel, right? Because we're his people. And he said, and I'm going to start from the top. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, right? So he's going to set us back in our own land, right, in Jerusalem. And the strangers shall be joined with them, right? The strangers are these other nations. They shall be joined with us, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, right? They're going to cleave unto us, right? Verse 2, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, right? So we're going to take them and bring them to our place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord, right? We're going to possess them in the land of the Lord. When you possess something, you own it, right? It said, for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, who captives they were, right? Because we were their captives, so they're going to be our captives. They're going to be our slaves, our servants and handmaids, and they shall rule over their oppressors, right? Let me get Jeremiah 30:16. Jeremiah 30:16. And it reads, therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all they that prey upon thee I will give for a prey. Right? So every one of them that put us into captivity, they have to go into captivity, right? Because they devoured us, they have to be devoured, right? And you know, the Most High, he's pretty pretty straightforward with that. You know what I mean? Let me get Isaiah 49:22. Isaiah 49:22. And it reads, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will lift up my hand to the Gentiles, and set up my standard to the people, and they shall bring thy sons in their arms, and thy daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders, right? And the Gentiles are these other nations, right? Verse 23, and kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers, right? All these top elites, they're going to be our nursing fathers, right? They're going to have to bow down to us. And their queens, they're going to have to bow down to us, right? It's like, they shall bow down to thee with their face towards the earth, and lick up the dust off thy feet. And thou shalt know, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me, right? So we're not going to be ashamed in the end of the day, because we know that the Most High, he only loves Israel, and he's going to put these curses and place them upon our enemies, and they're going to go into slavery for what they have done to us, right? So whatever a man sows, that shall he also reap, right? So at the end of the day, you know, the Most High is going to come back, and he's going to reverse everything, and we're going to be placed back on top, right? Revelations 13:9 and 10, and it reads, if any man have an ear, let him hear, right? If any man have understanding, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, right? He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. They led us into slavery, they shall be led into slavery. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword, right? They kill us with the sword every day. The modern day sword is what? They're guns. They kill our people every day in the street, right? So the Most High say, he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints, right? And who's the saints? You know who the saints are, it's the Israelites, right? We go to book of Psalms, we get Psalms 50:5. Gather my saints together to me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. Right? Who made a covenant by sacrifice? The Israelites. Psalms. Trying to hurry up for my time run out. Lucky. Psalms 148:14. It reads, he also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel, a people near unto him, praise ye the Lord, right? So that's the saints. But Lord willing, this video was edifying. Till the next video, Shalom.